Namaste, everyone. Hope you're all able to see the screen. Yeah. Let's sit comfortably, back spine straight. Allow ourselves to settle down. First, let's do a simple activity. Let's close our eyes gently, sit upright, roll our shoulders back. Wherever you are seated firm and steady. Your ears are like a radar trying to pick up different kinds of sounds around you. Your ears are picking up loud sounds, the sounds of people, maybe the sound of different things. And try not to sit and analyze, but just go around trying to hear the sounds around you. It could be the minute or the loud. Check whether these sounds are affecting you anywhere or you're just as a witness hearing the sounds. Keep hearing. And after some time, the mind does not want to hear anymore. That is the time you start feeling your breath. Is there any sound of your breath? Is there any sound coming? Feel the breath. From the tip of the nostril, your awareness is there and you could feel the cool air moving in and the warm air coming out. Sensitize your awareness. As you breathe in, you could feel the air touching the walls of the nostrils. As you breathe out, you could feel the air touching your upper lip, a slight breeze touching the upper lip. Bring your awareness to the center of the eyebrows now. As you bring your awareness to the center of the eyebrows, feel as if you're moving deep inwards, as if you're moving deep inside a cave. And there, deep inside, you are seeing a beautiful idol or a picture or murti of Krishna. Keep internally gazing. Continuing the gaze internally, join your palms for 3 rounds of Om. Inhale. Om. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, saha viryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu mavid vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadhyasya yatonvayaditaratah chartheshvabhigyam swarat tene brahma hridaya adikavaye muhyanti yat surayah tejo vari mridam yatha vinimayo yatra trisargo mrisha dhamna svena sada nirastakuhakam Satyam param dhimahi Satchidanandarupaya Vishwotpattyadihetave Tapatraya vinashaya Shri Krishnaya vayam namaha Narayanam namaskritya Naram chaiva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayamudiraye Tato jayamudiraye Hari.
Namaste everyone. Very wonderful to see you all. And let me share the screen of the page. Meanwhile, if any one of you could update, it will be great.
So basically we have been on the ideal wife till last week. Still talking about ideal wife, the different. Last week we were also talking about how the true meaning of an ideal wife is someone who is self-empowered. And when we mean by self-empowered, where is the self? It's within me. And one who is in touch with that core, that self, with Bhagavan at all point in time is self-empowered. Because my gaze is not at the world, it is at him all the time. And I accept everything that comes along with whatever is happening in the world as his prasad. When I turn inwards at him at all point in time. Right? So that's why we said in one Mandodhari, okay, Ravana respected her. He was whatever he was, but she was so her bhakti, because of her bhakti and her she was very highly respected by Ravana. And she was the fulcrum there because she was absolutely established in her core, in Bhagavan, at his feet. And hence she was in the mode of service at all point in time, but not the tamasic service, but the sattvic service. So that's where we ended. We were on the last stanza of that page. So now Devahuti says, okay, 9 girls have been born, and I know you have already asked me this promise, O Kardama, that after the children are born, you will leave me and go. I have been deceived by Maya. When you asked me what I want at that point in time, I was with my worldly desires. And I said, I want children and everything, not thinking that at some point in time, you're going to leave me and go, and that attachment to this samsara is going to cause a lot of turmoil in me. Instead of asking for Brahma Vidya, what I did was I asked for worldly pressures from you. Okay, she says that I have been deceived by the Maya of the Lord. I was in my own ignorance, which was created by the Lord. Even that ignorance is created by the Lord. When the time has to come, things have to. That was also his play only. Those 9 girls had to be born. That's why she was in that ignorance. And now it's hitting her. Oh, I have to leave. You may leave me anytime, and I should be. That fear of samsara, of attachment to the samsara is there. And I want to be able to cope with it. So she says, I didn't ask you what I needed. Then Kardama wiped the tears in her eyes and said, do not think of yourself so badly. You're not unfortunate. You're the most fortunate among all women. Lord Narayana has told me that he will be born as your son. You're going to bear the Lord himself in your womb. Can any woman be more fortunate than you? Do not weep, my dear woman. From today, you must observe the severest of vratas to prepare yourself, to make yourself worthy to receive the Lord. Pray to him day and night, pleased with your devotion. He will be born as your son. He will glorify your name and mine in the days to come. He will teach you Brahma Vidya, which will break asunder all the knots which have been tying you down to this world. He will help you to find a way out of this wilderness called Maya. Through you, the world of men will learn the lesson. So, but there's just one thing I wanted to focus. Is there anything else still here, Bala, or anyone you wanted to say, Bala? No. So I wanted to just bring up, he says, you do that severe tapas because Narayana is going to be born to you. If you see in all the stories, even in Dasharatha story, he had to wait for so many days to have Rama as his son. Okay. If you see, to beget a high soul, that is why there are these samskaras, Garbhadana, and all that samskara is there. From the preconception phase, the parents have to really prepare themselves. The more they prepare themselves, because there is a vasana matching happening. What are my patterns? According to it's a signal matching that is happening. The parents receive the soul or the child. The soul chooses the parents which matches its own karma and its own vasanas. And to receive a higher soul, the parents have to go through tapasya in the sense of, that single-minded devotion. And that is why the preconception phase is very important. According to, even now, modern science is also saying that the preconception phase is important, but they are limited to, don't smoke, don't eat. It's very physical, keep yourself stress-free, which is at one level, which is good. But at a deeper level, if we want to, invite higher souls, that absolute focus, that devotion, that all that is very much needed. So that's why even in Dasharatha, he had to do the Putra Kameshti Yajna. And then after such a long time, they had to purify themselves to be ready to receive such wonderful, to receive the Bhagavan himself as their son. So similarly, here also Kardama is telling you go through severe. So because if we are not there yet, we just have to, just think of him at all point in time. So in that purity, he will be able to enter into you. So yeah,
that's a beautiful point. Now we don't have to think at the level of receiving the Lord, but even in our worldly matters, if we have to get anything, we have to strive for that, right? So in fact, 2 days back when we went to Srirangam, this time there was 3 hours of queue, but that gave that preparation to meet the Lord. It prepares our mind. Otherwise, I think earlier we went through a friend, and that friend had somebody who knew the temple, and we just went so fast and came back. The preparation was not there. So we don't remember the darshan also. But when we go through this, going with the queue and chanting Bhagwan's name, thinking about, and we end up talking about his stories, we end up sharing. So all those things prepares our mind to get the darshan. So like that, everything needs preparation. That is something, sometimes, as parents, we kind of think of a lot of good things for children, but we ourselves are not ready to let the children go through the preparation that is needed for that. We start giving quick fixes, and so that is something that I thought can be taken from this, even in our day-to-day lives.
Yeah, even the way they used to go to pilgrimages, it was like they had to walk through forests, they have to go through. It is a process, and even now there are so many temples, if you see, which are on the hills or the mountains. Now they are very nicely, there are buses that go up, but earlier they used to climb. You have to go through that physical rigor, and you still have, in Pandharpur, the Varkaris, they walk for 21 days to, go and reach Sabarimala and all that. You have to follow all those austerities and then go meet the God. There is a procedure, just going and seeing God, and that too by paying some 300, 500. That full Saturday, I may feel like I have had special darshan sitting there, but it is in that process, it is in that journey when we reach and then even that little glimpse is the real thing, because when people go through so much tapasya to finally, they only get a glimpse of the Lord. In fact, so the process, that is the cleanser, the ego cleanser, which finally then you get that glimpse of. When I go to Tirupati, the first time I went, 9 hours I was standing, and finally that 1 minute they're saying Jargandi, Jargandi, that moment you can get your ego up. But if you don't get your ego up, then only you can see the Lord. What is this? This person is pushing me. If you think like that, gone. That moment has gone. You are out. You have missed the Lord. That moment.
I remember this Shabari story. Look at Shabari. She was a small child. Okay. And she was that Nishada, that forest community, whatever, the tribe community she was born in. And in that forest, Matanga Muni ashram, she used to come, and she was drawn to that ashram every day. So for some reason, she was drawn to the austerities that the rishis were, doing and all that. And she would every day, it seems, would come and keep some things from the forest, that samit and all we say, those small things she would collect even when she was so young, the little girl, okay, and she would keep it and go. So this seems to happen every day, and Matanga Muni asks, who is it that is doing this every day so sincerely, like that squirrel in the Ramayana we hear. So then Matanga Muni, then others say there is one small little girl here who comes and does. Then call that girl. She was so scared because, what will the Rishi Muni say? She had that I am born in this tribe, and can I enter the ashram? I'm going to, with that fear, but then with so much devotion, just looking at that Matanga Muni, something, then he said, you only start giving every day. And she had nobody. And then slowly, Matanga Muni also says, you come serve this ashram. So the entire life till she grows to some, maybe, of some age, I don't know. So she is completely there serving the ashram. Okay, everything. And her guru, her entire world was Matanga Muni, the bhakti towards him. And the rishis and all, then they decide to leave to the rishi loka. What is that called? Tapoloka. No? They decide to leave at that time, Then at that time, Shabari, she asks, please take me along also. Guru, I cannot be without you. Then Guru says, the time has not come for you. You wait here. You are much fortunate than me. I am going to Rishi Loka and I continue to be this. But you will meet Bhagwan himself, and he will come. He will take an avatara. So when Matanga Muni leaves, Rama was not yet born. Okay. So he says to Shabari, okay, he will come, Bhagwan himself will come. he will be born in the Ikshvaku Surya dynasty, and he will come in search of you. He will come and meet you. That is the time, you know, you will get the darshan of Bhagavan himself. So with just that Shraddha, she every day prepares the ashram, you know, welcoming Bhagavan. Look at the tapas that she has gone through, the vrata, what the preparation, you know. And it seems, you know, as a joke, I heard them saying she would every day go out and she would see the children playing, and she would ask the children, you know, did you see anybody coming, anybody with a bow and arrow, you know, any prince? Then that was told by Matanga Muni. Then the children would say, hey, don't listen to this Ajji, you know. This Ajji used to ask my grandfather also the same thing. This Ajji used to ask my father also. Now she's asking us also. So that is the kind of number of years she waited. And then that is why, you know, the moment she sees Bhagavan Ram there, you know, that we all know how beautiful it is. And it seems that first question that Rama asks is, you know, how is your tapasya well? You know, is your tapasya, how is your tapasya going? Is your tapasya not fruitful? I don't know what word to use there. Is your tapasya well? Then for that, you know, that is what the one who was narrating the story was saying. Tapasya well meaning when you are established. So Shabari was already, she had realized, self-realized. It is not that Bhagavan came and gave moksha. Her Guru Bhakti had, you know, taken her, that preparation, all that had cleansed her and taken her to that stage, you know. So for her, the tapasya was fruitful. The entire process is a tapasya. You know, that preparation for so many years and waiting. And when you're established in that nature within, you know, that is the fruit of all the tapasya. And the tapasya is progressing. Someone also had asked. So our tapasya, we can see it's an indication. It progresses means, you know, I'm able to be in that, you know, inner peace or whatever you call it. It's not bliss. It is not that happiness that we are talking about, not getting agitated, the equanimity, all that for a longer time. That means slowly, slowly. So how will this tapasya, what is this tapasya? That varies for each one of us. It is not that we sit in one place and do, you know, being in our nature. For what I have come, do like Devahuti, you know, that is called Swadharma, right? Being in my own nature and being connected to that Lord within, and keep doing what is meant to be done as an instrument. So that itself, the Guru's words was the ultimate truth for Shabari. And she was, that was her tapasya. She just was established in her own nature so many years to get the glimpse of Bhagavan.
Very beautiful, Bala. Shall we continue?
We can continue.
29th chapter. That's nice that we have come to this level. Devahuti did as she was told. She worshipped Narayana day and night. A long, long time passed. In course of time, the Lord entered her womb and stayed there like fire which is hidden in the Arani. There was great rejoicing in the heavens when this happened. Sweet music could be heard from the skies. The clouds rambled as though in joy. Gandharvas sang and the Apsaras danced in ecstasy. There was a rain of flowers from the heavens on the fortunate Devahuti, who would be the mother of Narayana. To the ashrama, which was beautiful with Saraswati flowing on either side, came Brahma, the creator. Brahma, the father of Kardama. And with him came Marichi and the other rishis. Brahma, who knew that Narayana would be born and the purpose of his birth, came to his son Kardama and his wife and said, "My child, you have been the ideal son to me. You obeyed my commands, and now you have 9 daughters who will propagate the race. Give them to the rishis who are with me. The Lord Narayana has, I know, promised to you that he will be born as your son, and even now your wife is bearing him in her womb. My dear daughter, he will explain to you, and through you to the world, Brahma Vidya, which will get rid of your avidya, ignorance, which is a cause of pain in this world. He will establish the great Sankhya Yoga, and he will be famed as Kapila the world over. The world will be the richer for the presence. Your names will be remembered by the world of men because you will be the parents of Kapila. Brahma took leave of the couple and went back to Satyaloka. Shall I stop here?
Someone has asked before we get into it, how do we know what is our individual? We need to be connected to our inner. That itself is.
What is our individual tapasya? Means what do we need to?
It's like my swadharma. What is my, in some ways, my individual tapasya?
Okay, good.
She found peace. Sabari found peace. All her mind was on the Lord, and she performed her actions. She was collecting. She was expecting him to come every day without unconditionally. Right? Okay, I have to go through this. I have to do this. It's like, okay, this is Lord's. No complaints with life, but mind on him at all point in time, whatever you are doing, whatever comes naturally. It seems to flow. Whatever situation you are in, you go through that without complaints, with faith in him. That's it.
That is why I think we read that 9th chapter, 1st shloka. No complaints, no cavil, no carping, right? So I think the person who is into the spiritual path, the concept of even complaining or even looking at everything or anything as inauspicious has to be, cut at the root itself. And the moment we are coming out of the complaint, then it will help us to view the world in an absolutely different way. There, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa writes in one thing is about dyeing the shirt. That is the name of the story. Very simple, just one paragraph, dyeing the shirt. He was saying that, think that the mind is like a white shirt, absolutely white. But the white shirt keeps getting dirty if we start, if your hand is dirty, we keep putting the hand on the shirt and the shirt gets dirty. But, and then we keep telling, oh, my shirt is dirty, my shirt is dirty, my shirt is dirty. So this is how we keep telling that we might only have, it is our hand which has put, but I am looking at it as dirt. But why do you need to think that it is dirt? It could think that it is a design on your shirt. And he was saying dyeing the shirt is, if you, however way your mind is turning on to, and that is how you are, that is what you are putting it into your mind. You are dyeing the shirt in red color, it will be red in color. It will be in blue, the shirt will be dyed in blue. So it will be red and blue, it is the thing. So it is how your mind is turning on to, whether you want to look it as a complaint, whether you want to take in this bad company, or whether you want to look it through your colored eyes, or whether you think that, like Aarti said, no, you're standing in the queue and somebody pushes you and you look at that person, how dare he or she does that. So the moment you are directing your attention to that, then we miss out that experience. Every moment is an experience. That experience we will miss out, and then we move on to complaining and looking at things. Why are they here? Why are these people like? Why can't they respond? Why can't they do this? Why this thing? What is the problem with them? Why people are so bad? Why they have to do? See, so many questions are all of whys. And this is where Raghuramji, I was asking a question of Raghuramji, because sometimes complaining also comes with a sense of lack, that I lack some things in life. And when I simply asked him some 2 days ago about a sense of lack, he was telling very beautifully that everything around nature is in the giving mode. Everything, whether the tree gives some things, whether it is an animal, it gives absolute unconditional love, whether it is my dog or anyone there, everyone gives, whether it is birds, they just fly and just they are there to just give. But only the humans know but apart from giving, we also want, that there is a sense of wanting. So what happens, we don't feel that we are in abundance. We don't feel that let me just give. So how can there be lacking when Bhagavan is within you, when you are completely in you are complete? I think Bala also was sharing to me that. So it was feeling so good that, Prabha, how can there be lacking things in you? How can anyone feel lacking when you could just give, when you could just give and give and give absolutely unconditional? Then you will never think that I need this, I don't have this in my life, so I lack this. So all these things will never come, and then it will get rid of our complaints. Absolutely, we will be rid of any complaints, whether it is bodily complaint or anything around our complaints, anything, right? So I think that made a lot of sense to me. I hope I conveyed it in the right manner. Yeah.
Very beautiful, Prabha. I just remembered Mirabai's story also. Her tapasya. She, with whatever you were saying, no, whatever, why do we look at it as a stain instead of looking at it as a design? If you look at it like that, no, Mirabai, she was married, she was so devoted to Lord Krishna, but still she had to go through her own tapasya in that family. Her devotion was not accepted, and she was, they say, no, there are lots of stories of how after her husband passed away, a bed of thorns were put on her, but those thorns turned into bed of roses. It didn't. It's not like magic that those thorns turned. It is the lack of complaints and her mind on the Lord always, which didn't bring any complaint at all. It was just absolute faith, and even that was fine. It didn't affect. I'm not the body. It was, I'm not the body. It didn't affect her, and the poison didn't kill her, and whatever, right? Because there was absolute devotion, and she had to go. That was her tapasya. It was needed for her to, have that absolute equanimity and complete devotion to the Lord. It is a test if you look at it. Everything, whether her mind is going away or not. And still her mind was on the Lord. And at the end, she was given, she was called by Tulsi Das Ji, and he says, now it's time for you to leave the house and go to Vrindavan. And then she goes, Vrindavan or Mathura, I'm not sure where, but she goes there, and then finally becomes, keeps singing, and at the age of whenever it was ready, she becomes one with the Lord. So the situation that I am in is my tapasya, is my prarabdha, is my swadharma for this, and that I live it like a tapasya rather. Whatever I am doing.
Actually, that's what is coming to my mind also. Basically, we all get caught with what is tapasya. Okay, instead of saying what is tapasya, whatever is there is there. Okay, I am driving this life, or whatever, this car of life, whatever you call it. Okay, when can the driving itself become a tapasya? Is when we accept. Say, for example, I'm driving the car. Okay, and do I have control over the car? I don't. Actually, I don't. Though apparently it looks like I'm the driver. Okay, I cannot, if I want to turn to the right, I cannot turn. It depends on the road. It depends on the traffic. It depends on how good the vehicle is. It depends on the power of my hand, whatever. So many things, right? So what work or what to do, it's not tapasya. We don't have to question that at all, because that we will not get. We are being presented, just like the road and traffic is presented to us. Okay, we are being presented that in this life, prarabdha, we call it whatever. Okay, the people we interact with. How am I living that is tapasya. That is only in my hand. How am I driving? Am I driving, looking at the traffic and saying, why is he coming in this wrong side? Why is the cycle, these boys are, all those complaints. So that's a road situation, the car, the comforts, everything is being presented to me. So in life also like that, everything is given. Okay, presented, whatever. So in this, now what is the freedom that I have? The freedom that I as a driver have is not on, what car I choose. That is also not freedom. What work I do, no, nothing. The freedom I have is how am I going to drive this car? Okay, accept this is how it is. Okay, and then we will see, we can start enjoying the drive also. So like that. So when tapasya is about, I think from Mirabai, beautiful examples we have, right? Like whatever Prabha also shared, I think it is about how we are living every moment. And if I am with complete acceptance, if I'm there, surrender automatically happens, because I'm surrendering to that, that power, that orchestra, the sutradhari. Yes, I'm surrendering to him. Once that is there, then that is the tapasya, I think. Whenever we fall, we again come back. We'll get caught with it and come back. That is all tapasya. So
it is. So somebody has asked, for example, it is fasting and this thing. See, those are actions. What is tapasya? Tapasya is that tapasya is anything that I follow to remove my own mental shackles. Now, why do I do fasting? If my food, I don't get coffee in the morning, I get rattled that morning. That is a shackle. So if I fast on this, it is not fasting. That fasting is leading to my liberation of my enslavement to coffee. It is about removing each of these shackles within me. So when I am fasting now, I like only khara food. If it is bland, I can't eat at all. Or I can't, things like that. Or any food that I can get, things like that. So fasting has been given as a way to free my inner bondage. The act of fasting itself is not a tapasya. That fasting leads to me getting freed from my inner bondage of whatever enslavement I was having to that food, of that craving. Now that is the tapasya, which also it's fasting can do it for food, and slowly those are ways shown. That is a method shown. Praying to with the devotion, our mind should be on devotion, on the Lord at all point in time. So like that in my life also, what are my inner bondages? As I like when I'm driving, some people, we will say, oh, what is this guy driving like this? This is road sense illa. And things like that. I can keep complaining and I can drive, or I can just go, okay, this guy is coming, no problem, I'll go like this. Oh, this guy is honking, please go, you're in a hurry. Okay, or whatever is your way, but you are peaceful and you are going no matter what the situation is. That is tapasya. That tapasya is that process which helps you get to that level of equanimity, and it can be anywhere and anything, even just life.
And when we are doing tapasya, it helps in dissolving our ego. But when we keep saying, I am doing so much tapas, I am doing so much tapas, we are again inflating our ego with there. So again, it's a very beautiful thing is, what in our life is some situations we are into, or many of us are facing some difficult situations right now, or you might have faced it earlier, or this thing. And how that itself is a tapas. There are cases where it's been very difficult at home due to some things at home, and the mother or the wife or the husband or whatever, they are going through that struggle, but still holding on to the divine, just like Draupadi was holding on, and sailing it. That itself is a tapas. If you consider that as a tapas, then imagine how your journey would be. That yes, I went and I had this whirlpool, but I just hold on to the anchor, and I just did that discipline with that tapas attitude, with that sattvic tapas. That is why, because in asuras also do tapas, but that tapas is meant for material gains, immortality, material, all this. But this is a more of a sattvic tapas, where that I will want to be in touch with myself. I want to be in the reveling in the glory of Bhagavan, and I want to be steady there. And I'm going through this. Let me consider this as a tapas, not as a chore, not as such a huge calamity I have fallen in. So many things, right? So each time we think about Kunti also, right? In that way, right? So Kunti, or even Yashodama, I think 40 so many years away from her son, right? So it's what they are going through is tapas. So what many of us, because many people connected, that's why I'm saying, if you're going through some things in your life which is really very overwhelming for you, you could think that, okay, Bhagavan has put you into this position. Maybe it is a tapas for you, and that is maybe that tapas in your life. And you hold on to him, you hold on to your Ishta Devata, and just using that one pointed devotion, and just you keep trying and keep trying. That realignment, somebody has mentioned that realignment, Bala has very beautifully says, we might keep faltering. That is why satsanga really helps. That satsanga really very beautifully helps. The concept of reading and being in touch with like-minded people. How are you spending your time? That helps a lot in realigning, actually. So I think every Tuesday it helps all of us, isn't it, to realign ourselves.
Like in the army, the wives or the family who stays back is also doing a tapas, just like the person who is going there. They are sending their child, their son, their husband, their father, whoever, and here, but no complaints, because their bhakti is towards the nation. So there are no complaints about what is happening. They are accepting, but they are going through all the emotions and everything, but still no complaints. They are worried, they know, but that devotion is getting them through. And when something happens, they may go through all the emotional this thing, but of that separation, but yet when complaints are not there, there is a certain dignity in that whole thing. When that is also a form of tapasya. Here we are looking at attaching not to another greater being at a higher level within us, actually. We shouldn't, the moment we do this, it feels outside. It's here.
Shall we continue? You would like to continue? Yeah.
Where
Now,
Kardama married.
Yeah.
Kardama married his daughters. Huh? Okay. Kardama married his daughters to the rishis. Kala was given to Marichi, Anusuya to Atri, Shraddha to Angiras, Havirbhu to Pulastya. Gati was given to Pulaha, Kriya to Kratu, while Khyati was given to Bhrigu. Arundhati became the wife of Vasishtha, and the youngest daughter Shanti was given to Atharva. The daughters left the home of the good Kardama and Devahuti, left the home of the good Kardama and Devati, and went with their husbands. Loneliness visited the aged couple, who were all by themselves now. The thoughts of the great event to come kept them happy. Kardama, alone with his wife, now that the daughters had gone away to their new homes, prostrated before the Lord, who was in her, and said, how can I, with my poor and inadequate intelligence, describe the greatness that is you? How can I express in words your infinite kindness? The gods are indeed benevolent towards men who have spent all their time in this pain-filled samsara. We are born into this world of bondage because of the accumulated sins in our many previous janmas, and yet you heed them not. Great rishis spend years and years on training their minds to follow the path of devotion. With single-minded bhakti, they try to sit in solitary spots and concentrate on your form, trying to visualize you in their hearts. And what have you done? Unmindful of the fact that I am an ignorant, stupid, low man who is caught in the web of the senses, not minding all this, you have decided to be born in this humble ashrama of mine as my son. What shall I say? What can I say? Once you told me that you would be born as my son, and to keep that promise, you have come to me. Great is the love you have for our bhaktas.
What are the words what do her words denote? She could have been, the Lord is coming into her. Something must be special about me. That's why the Lord is coming into me. He's going to be born to me. maybe something is special about me. Could have been a thought, but here, no.
Then the Lord wouldn't come if such thought would come.
If that thought came, Lord wouldn't come. Okay. He was so humble. Absolute humility. That is what tapasya would lead to. I am so lucky that I even have this much. I am so lucky that all this has happened. Who am I? How can I be blessed with so many things? You know, really great people to really, when we think about it. When tapasya happens, that humility is what happens. That's what came to me. That humility of her words.
And the love Bhagwan has for bhaktas. See, that is very beautiful. When we start, just like how we keep saying, no, let us not think about us, ourselves, mamakara, hankara. Instead of we constantly thinking about we love Bhagwan or something. Imagine what love he has for us. They say, no, Gurudev always says, just you whistle from your living room. He's always standing there, in the courtyard. He immediately come running. So that is how Bhagwan is. We just have to give that small turn to him, and with complete realization, not simply say, okay, you are everything, but holding on to, not like that, with that complete surrender. When we call him, he comes. They also say, right, Yudhishthira, why didn't Krishna could have played for Yudhishthira, right? Why did not Krishna play the game of dice? Why did Krishna let Yudhishthira play the game of dice? Sometimes, in debates, people ask. It is said that someone asked Krishna, I don't know, something like that. So Krishna says, yeah, I was waiting. I always wait. I was waiting. But this Yudhishthira, if people may not like, but he was very arrogant about his own dharma. Okay, he thought he was a great dharmatma. So he did not even remember Krishna. But Duryodhana was very smart. He allowed Shakuni to play the game. But then this, what comes between me and God, or between whatever is this ahankar, this individual, that is what comes between. So we don't see that at all here. That is absolute.
The next sentence, which I really kind of catching my attention, is unmindful of the fact that I am an ignorant, stupid, low man who's caught in the web of the senses. So this is where I was remembering it's a funny story. It's about two cats. Okay. Two cats. One was a white cat and one was a very beautiful black cat. Okay. And so those white cat, and there was one path. Okay. One path. So the one cat was coming from one side and the other cat was coming from the other side. And finally, both the cat face each other. And then white cat says to black cat, you move. I need to move. Black cat says, why should I move? I should move. You move away. I have to go. It's like two cars facing each other. Huh? You would have seen in Bangalore traffic, right? So half the time they will say, you move, I will not move. You move, I will not. Half the time the traffic jam is there. So the same cats were, it started with simple sentences. You move, why should I? You move, why should I? So and then slowly it started going into all kinds of bad words started, and then the cats started screaming at each other, scratching each other, wrestling with each other. And now there was one cat coming. It was a brown cat, very, very much like a very, very absolute, like a wise cat. You should think like a Dalai Lama cat. That was the name it was. So the Dalai Lama cat came. And the Dalai Lama cat came and then looked at both of them and started laughing. And both the cats did not understand what is this cat. Another guy is coming and laughing. So they said, why are you laughing? See, how much time have you wasted, both of you sitting and kind of fighting against each other? You saw that the path is big enough to go. But still, both of you are more involved in your own web of ego, that you did not want to give another, you did not want to cross, or you did not want to say that, hey, I will move this way. The road is much bigger for me. Then the cat said, no, how can I? It is my honor. It is my pride. How can I let go like that? I cannot let go of that. So either she moves or whether I go. That's it. That's it. There is no compromise. And the Dalai Lama cat was saying, see, this is where we are caught. See, now you are standing here, you are standing. The entire night you will be sitting and standing here and fighting against each other. Don't you think you're wasting your energies? You're absolutely in that web. And here I can just ask you to move and I can move off. I can nicely pass my way because I am not bothered about my honor, because I respect myself. I have total self-respect of myself. That self-respect of myself, that my capabilities, my abilities, that it's okay. Even if somebody tells me to move, it is not they're telling me to move. They're telling me to move. Disassociation, that it is not me they're telling me to move. See, half the time you both are sitting and thinking that it is my honor, my pride, my honor, my pride. And see how your time has, you guys are both, you're caught there. That's it. And you're going to be sitting there through the night. And I am going to leave. And so he left. And the story, the writer has written, now it is up to you to think how those two cats solved their issue. It just kept like that, ended. But this is where many of us are caught. Many times it's like, how can you've seen WhatsApp messages also, when something is directed, we think that it is directed to me, right? So we are already caught in the web, so much of and who is caught here? Did someone put you in the web? Nobody has put us in the web. We are ourselves get entangled in the web, and it is up to us to ensure that we are released. So it's like the mind is a place to get having bondage, and also a place to be liberated. It is up to us, right? So
Soumyashri, can you mute yourself, please? I think there's some disturbance. Or maybe Prabha, you can mute her.
Yeah, done.
Yeah. So I remember the story from Prashnopanishad. Okay. So once Indra, with all his, Indraloka, Varuna Devata, the Agni, and Surya, and with all of them, they are sitting there. Okay. And I don't know if I can get the story perfectly. I'll try. Okay. But I just remember when we were talking about unmindful of the fact that I am an ignorant, stupid, low man who is caught in the web of senses. Okay, what is this web of senses and how it catches at that? It brings out that. Okay, and they're all sitting there. If Bala knows the story, you can add if I'm making any this thing. So, or anybody, Prabha or Bala. So this, they are sitting there and suddenly they see something. They're having their courtroom discussion kind of thing. Okay, they're all there. And we have to understand this, all these, Agni and Varuna and all, they are actually representations of our sense organs. And Indra is our mind. He's the king of all the senses. He is the mind, the king of the, he's the mind. Okay, so now all of them, they are called as devatas of the different sense organs. So they are sitting there, they're discussing, and suddenly something just runs by. Something just seems to pass by. So immediately Indra says, hey, come on, go, Agni, go and see what is happening. Agni is like the lord of the sight, say. Okay, so he goes and he sees, and when he goes and sees, he finds a yaksha there. Okay, and when he sees this yaksha, he is asking, who are you? And the yaksha saying, who are you? He says, hey, you don't know who I am. I am Agni. I can burn anything to pieces. You dare even try to take panga with me. I can burn anything to pieces. At that time, the yaksha says, okay, now why don't you try to burn this straw? Okay, and he puts out a straw. and Agni gives out all his heat and all his fire and everything, and he's not able to burn the straw. Then Agni goes back. Now Indra sends Vayu. Same thing, Vayu goes and says, hey, you are not powerful. I am the most powerful. Don't take panga with me. He says, come on, you can blow. I can blow anything away. Anything I want, I can blow it away. He says, okay, he keeps the straw. The Yaksha keeps the straw on the ground. And he says, now blow this away. And the straw does not blow away. Like that, each one comes, and finally, Indra comes there. And the moment Indra comes there and he sees the Yaksha, here's the part I am a little stuck on. Do you remember? Anybody remembers this? Bala, tell. I'm a little stuck here.
Basically, when Indra comes there, Yaksha disappears.
Yes, Yaksha disappears.
And Parvati comes. And then Indra asks, who is this Yaksha? Indra kind of understands. Okay, he is in the mind, little. So he understands, but then, and then Parvati gives Atmajnana to Indra. Yeah. It is like
the Prashnopanishad, right?
Kenopanishad. Whatever. So, yeah. Basically, this also kind of says, right, it points back to the ultimate doer. The senses think, Agni thought it can burn, but without, Parabrahman. The Yaksha, that you told, right? The Yaksha, Bhagavan himself comes as the Yaksha. To teach them all a lesson. But Indra comes out to know who this Yaksha is. He was not inflated with any ego or anything. He comes out to know who this Yaksha is. So it is symbolically said that
he actually comes down and talks with humility, if I'm right. Who are you? None of them were able to destroy you. Who are you? And when he asks that question, the Yaksha vanishes.
You remember, right, where Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, the Bhakta Jignasu is one category, who wants to know who is God. Who is this Supreme? Who? So that may just, I don't know, maybe Indra reached that stage. He really wanted to know who it was. So at that time, when we reach that, Guru comes. Okay, so Parvati Mata comes as a Guru and gives the Atma Vidya to mind. So like what Prabha said, the same mind can get into the sense indulgence, or the same mind, the moment turns towards Bhagavan, then he will take care of guiding. We don't have to think anything, but just with humility, we have to turn to Bhagavan. That is enough. Then,
when the mind is turning to the senses, complaints. Ego is very high. I see this, my ego gets inflated. I hear this, my ego gets inflated. Everything, whatever my sense organs, as long as my mind is connected with my sense organs, whatever I am seeing and whatever I am hearing, somebody said this about me, my ego is, something bad about me, my ego is inflated, I get hurt. I don't like it. Okay. Or somebody says wonderful things about me, my ego is again inflated. Both are inflated ego only. Here I'm thinking, wow, I am great. This person spoke like this. So basically, as long as this mind is turning towards the senses, we cannot avoid the ego inflation. The only way to control the ego inflation is to turn around 180 degrees and look at it.
This is where a very funny, very interesting story is about the elephant and the fly. Very correctly you brought, because I just read this 2 days ago. It's again a very interesting thing. There was one elephant who was just grazing or just standing there, flapping the wings, and very, how the elephants are, at their own, very, very calm and quiet they were. And there was this fly which was buzzing like that and coming close to the elephant, trying to irritate the elephant. But the elephant was not at all getting irritated. Okay, the elephant was continuing nicely, enjoying, wagging his trunk and all that. The fly tried her level best to keep buzzing around this ear, that ear, trying here in front of the nose, nostrils, everything. The elephant just pushed that thing and then continued. No, the fly was very, very amazed with this quality of elephant and went next to the elephant and said, sir, I really want to talk to you. So elephant said, why? What happened? I'm just seeing that I tried my level best to irritate you, but you never got irritated. How is that possible? I tried to come in front of your eyes, you didn't get irritated. I kind of came in your ears, I tried to put a lot of buzzing in it. I tried to touch your skin, but you didn't get irritated. So all the types I tried. Okay. And even then you did not get irritated. So I'm just really amazed. Are you some god or something like that? How can you be so calm? So and so the elephant said, see, you are buzzing. It is your nature. Maybe you are buzzing. Okay. Why am I supposed to be getting irritated? I am hearing you. I am seeing you. You are touching me. That's fine. But anyway, I really want to, I'm enjoying sitting and grazing here, and I'm enjoying here. It is because my mind is not getting agitated because you are buzzing. For me, I'm not at all hearing that buzzing is noise for me. For me, it is a sound. It is not a noise. When you are coming in front of me, for me, it is not an obstacle. I'm seeing you. That's all. When you're touching me, I'm feeling the touch of you, but it is not irritating me because I'm just fine. And when you are when you whatever way you're trying, I feel that I'm not getting disturbed. That's it. See, the problem is happening here is you are trying to irritate me, but you are getting more and more irritated because you are seeing that I am not getting irritated. So that is also, isn't that irritating you? Then the fly said, yeah, it is irritating me because I am not seeing you getting irritated. So, and I am trying my best. So then the elephant said, what can you do also? Why don't you also try to be like me? Buzz slow. You buzz, but enjoy your buzzing. Then you will feel you're very free. The moment the flies decided that, okay, let me buzz, but I'll buzz with joy. And it seems the fly buzzed with joy, and both of them became friends. That is a story, yeah? But isn't it wonderful that we are not caught there? We are going to be surrounded. We are, that is why we did that activity in the beginning of the class, right? That we try to hear, when you hear, we analyze. Oh, see, again she started, my son has started shouting. Oh, that sound of the phone is already ringing. See, so the sound is only causing disturbances. Sometimes we just watch without analyzing. The sounds are there only to hear. We are here to watch all of that. When you watch, when you hear, somebody was saying, when I hear and when I watch something, it causes a lot of disturbances to me. So think that, okay, can I just be there, pray, be calm, be like a very calmer lake, pray, and then be calm like this elephant. Elephant is big. See, the concept of elephant here, not something else, is the elephant has absolute self-respect. It is that bigness is full of self-respect, but there is also absolute innocence, and also absolute steadiness in the gait, and also how the elephant will swing their trunk in their movement. Also there is grace. So it's like they are not going to be affected with all these things. That is the significance of this beautiful big elephant with kindness in their eyes. They are supposed to have absolute compassion in their eyes. That is how they say, the great is the love. That love is very compassionate. The love is beautiful, so higher for elephant eyes. You see in horse eyes. You see in the eyes of the dogs and many other animals. They're supposed in the cow, the eyes of the cow, you would have seen, right? It just oozes compassion and the kindness there. So that is the significance of these animals there, which are going to be teaching us big lessons.
I like the use of the word grace. We can walk life gracefully when we have fewer complaints. Whatever is the situation, accept that this is, and still, how can, it is the senses. So whenever I am disturbed, I know, oh, I'm caught with my senses and my mind. Let me turn. That's all.
It's very beautiful. This story is just bringing out few thoughts which I want to share. One way, yes, looking at we are caught with the mind. That is why we get disturbed, everything. Say, for example, there is so much complaints in my mind. So the bee is the mind, the fly. Okay, and this elephant is the self, which is huge, full of love, black in color also, so Krishna. So it is that Krishna is there in each one of us. Krishna is in, and Krishna is the doer. Krishna is the substratum. Okay, so, and this fly, the mind, when I'm sitting for meditation, many things may come. It is the job of the nature of the mind to jump from one thing to the other. Accept the nature of the mind also. When I get agitated that it is not happening, it is another part of the mind which is talking. Okay, I am not there with the elephant. I am like another bee now. It is other part of the mind which is starting to buzz. Okay, so we need to understand when this bee. Imagine that as just equate it. I don't know what you call it in story. If that symbolize the mind, okay, then this elephant is the self, that Bhagavan, who is there actually. So where is this ego? Actually, it is not there. Nothing called individuality, nothing called individual ego, which we have just projected and given it such a huge place and thinking that is what is me. It is not there only. So this mind is, Raghuramji always says, we should have called it minding. Okay, because it is not mind, it's not a noun. There is nothing called mind. The flow of thoughts, as long as the buzz, the fly is flying, okay, minding is happening. That's all. Yeah, it is the nature of that. So we cannot, so accept. So the more complaints are coming and coming and coming, be with the Krishna within and say, okay, mind is doing its job. I have nothing to do with it. Mind is doing the job. I have nothing to do with it. This is tapasya. It does not come. This is tapasya. Again and again and again, we need to realign to that grace, love-filled elephant Krishna in us. So then, I think that is something very beautiful. Accept the nature of the mind also. Then actually mind becomes our friend. Just like how the bee kept on doing, at one point in time, it got bored. So the same complaining thoughts will keep coming again and again and again. And accept, because of these, whatever. I don't even have to reason out. Just like how I witnessed the sounds initially, one sound to the other, just okay, it is coming. Yeah, it is coming. And then we don't feed. What happens is that gets tired. There is no food for that. We say food for thought. There's no food for that. It gets tired and it looks at the elephant, right? Beautifully in that story, there is a point when the bee wants to ask, how come you are like this? Like that, the mind turns automatically to that true Bhagavan in us.
I was just thinking, whenever we think of any complaints, because of what is happening in the world outside. When I'm saying in the world outside it is happening, my world outside is what connected with my senses and nothing else. The way I perceive the world is only through my eyes, my ears, my touch. Okay, so it's my senses which perceives the world outside. Whenever I'm having complaints of the world outside, I should remember Kunti. She said, please give me more and more such difficulties because that is making me remember you. So I can look at whatever is happening around me and complain about it, or I can say, oh God, I'm so grateful to you. You're giving me the opportunity to think about you immediately. Because when that disturbance happens, I will turn to the Lord. If I start doing that, immediately I'll turn to the Lord. It will become a reminder for me whenever there, and slowly I'll start being established in it. So it's actually a gift in a way, whatever situation has been given to me. It may seem very right when we are sitting here, but to really implement it in life, that's why we have weekly satsanga. To really implement it in life, we need reminders initially, but we have to practice. That is our tapasya.
So that whatever he gives us situations, we think, my perceptions, That is his love for us. Great is the love you have for our bhaktas. He is constantly putting all efforts to turn our mind towards him. It is this ego which is standing and not turning. That is the problem. So, for us to turn, he keeps giving all that. That's why they say Guru. He is the Guru, no? Krishna Mande Jagat Guru. Why do we say constantly every little situation he gives so that we turn? But we get caught with whatever complaints or whatever.
Accepting the nature of the mind is helpful. I end up treating mind as a big enemy. Yeah. That is a complaint only. Sorry.
No, that's what. That is what. Yeah. The moment we think of anything as an enemy, because that there itself is the most important. We're running out of time, but one most important thing is nothing around us is an enemy. Actually, it is the way we are perceiving it. What sometimes people, I see teenagers also. They come and tell me that I hate my hands, auntie, because they are very fat. I just hate my hair. I do not like menstruation at all. So they just hate that aspect in that life itself. So, but what happens is, if you go deeper into therapeutic healing, what you hate comes out as health issues. So if you hate your mind, it just keeps coming. It just keeps. But when you give unconditional love, that love conquers everything. That absolute love. I love my arms. I love dash part of the body. I love my ability to talk. I love this aspect of my mind which keeps buzzing me. But I love my mind. But that is because my mind is like that. So when we give that unconditional love, that acceptance to whatever it is, it just changes the whole the scenario itself completely, and you would feel so free. Suddenly you're free, and you will feel that whatever part of the body you don't like, or whatever part of your mind. Some people say, no, Prabha, I'm always lazy. That means you don't like that part. So no, I am very active. I am a very active, efficient, brilliant person. Keep putting that thought in your head. So you're not thinking that my laziness is my enemy. You're transforming it. So that will really help, so that you're not putting anything as your enemy, but putting that as an opportunity for my growth. That, I keep falling into the well, but I'll again climb. Again, I'll fall. Again, I'll climb. But that well is not an enemy. Well is an opportunity. So I think that would really help. That is what I always think, believe in it. Yeah.
So we'll close the session. We will chant Om Namo Narayanaya 16 times, and then we will bring up, visualize Narayana in your heart. Narayana lying on his Adi Sesha in the cosmic ocean. From his Nabi on the lotus is Lord Brahma, and his hand reaching out to the Linga in the waters. Mata Lakshmi sitting at his feet. The hoods of Adisesha all looking at the Lord. The Lord lying down with his yellow-colored dhoti, his crown, his earrings, the Shankha and Chakra in his hands, and with the Padma in one of the other hands. Let's chant Om Namo Narayana. Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Everything that we perceive through our senses is impermanent. It is there this moment, tomorrow it will be gone, the next moment it will be gone. Everything that we perceive through this mind is impermanent. The thoughts I have will keep changing. The only permanent is Bhagavan, who is our very source, our very substratum. May we fix our mind on the permanent. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना प्रकृते स्वभावा करोमि यज्ञ सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ.
Thank you, everyone.